The dining room was alive with the gentle clinking of glasses and low murmurs of polite conversation, accompanied by warm laughter that filled the space. It all seemed so genuine, so carefree, yet I could feel the tightening in my chest, a pressure that wouldn't let go. For the first time in 15 years of hosting these dinner parties, I felt like a stranger in my own home. "You're never going to believe what Philippe did for me last weekend," Lauren said, drawing everyone's attention with her voice, smooth and inviting. She twirled her glass of red wine, a little too casually, her smile widening into something that almost seemed childlike. She'd spoken about Philippe before, just a colleague, she had said, but never like this. "Oh, do tell." Amanda, our overly curious neighbor, leaned forward, eyes bright with interest. Lauren didn't hesitate. "He surprised me with a weekend getaway to Napa. Private villa, exclusive wine tastings, the works," she said, the words spilling out with a chuckle, a sound so unfamiliar it almost made me flinch. Honestly, it felt like royalty. The table erupted in appreciative gasps. Admiring comments echoed around me, but my ears rang with the sound of my own heartbeat. I watched Lauren, my wife of 17 years, the woman I had built everything with, recounting the grand gestures of her lover like I wasn't even in the room. She didn't even look at me. "That's incredible, Amanda," one of our guests said, her voice full of envy. "You're so lucky to have someone who knows how to treat you like that." Lucky. Yes, Lauren was lucky, but she hadn't mentioned the man who spent countless nights working late, the one who bought her the house, who supported her through every whim and whimsy. Me. It took everything in me to keep my voice steady. "It sounds like Philippe has quite the flair for romance," I said, my tone carefully neutral. For the first time that evening, Lauren met my eyes. A fleeting expression crossed her face, guilt, maybe, or irritation, but it was gone before I could place it, quickly replaced by a defensive smile. "He certainly does," she replied, her voice cool, defiant. That was all I needed. The rest of the evening passed in a blur. I smiled and nodded, played the part of the perfect host, but inside my thoughts churned. Anger, humiliation, betrayal, and above all, determination. By the time the last guest had left, I had already formulated a plan. The next morning, I acted as if nothing had changed. I kissed Lauren on the cheek, wished her a good day, and watched her leave for work. Then I set to work. The first step was gathering evidence. Philippe, it turned out, wasn't as discreet as he thought. A quick glance through Lauren's phone records revealed numerous calls and messages. I forwarded the most telling ones to myself, including selfies from their Napa getaway. Next, I logged into our shared bank account and examined every charge. Meals, hotel stays, gifts, all made with joint funds. She'd been living this double life on our dime. Once I had everything, I called my lawyer. Divorce wasn't my immediate goal, not yet. I wanted to ensure that the fallout would be on my terms. The next dinner party came in 2 weeks. Just enough time to set the stage. When the night arrived, the house was as inviting as always, candles flickered on polished wood, and the air was thick with the scent of something savory. Guests chatted and laughed, unaware of the storm that had been brewing. Lauren was in her element, carrying on like everything was normal, like nothing had changed. I waited until dessert. "I have a toast to make," I said, rising with a glass of champagne in hand. The room quieted, all eyes on me. Lauren raised an eyebrow, a hint of curiosity in her expression. 17 years ago, I began, my voice steady, "I married the love of my life. Lauren, you've been my partner, my confidant, and my greatest source of joy. Tonight, I want to celebrate you." A ripple of admiration passed through the room. Lauren's smile widened, but I could see the slight twitch in her face, the unease just beneath the surface. "But marriage, as we all know, is built on trust," I continued. The weight of my words pressed down on the room, every ear straining to hear what came next. "And trust, once broken, can never be the same." The room went still. Lauren's smile faltered. Her fingers gripped the stem of her glass tighter. "Lauren," I said, "I know about Philippe." Gasps erupted around the table. Lauren's face went white. She stared at me speechless. "For months you've been lying to me," I continued, my voice firm, unyielding. "You've used our money, our home, our marriage as a shield for your deceit. And last week, you had the audacity to brag about it here at this very table." "David." She started, her voice trembling, but I raised my hand, cutting her off. "Save it," I said, turning to the rest of the stunned guests. "I've compiled everything, the texts, the photos, the receipts. I'll be filing for divorce on Monday. But tonight is about more than that." From beneath the table, I pulled out a folder and placed it in front of me. "Inside," I said, "you'll find copies of Lauren's indiscretions. I thought it only fair that her friends know the truth about the woman they've been admiring. Lauren's face twisted with rage. Her voice dropped to a low, venomous hiss. How dare you? How dare I? I echoed, my voice rising. How dare you? You made a mockery of our marriage. You disrespected me, our home, and everything we built together. Consider this your reckoning. I turned back to the guests, their faces frozen in shock. Forgive me if I don't see you out, I said coldly. I have some packing to do. And with that, I walked out, my footsteps echoing in the stunned silence behind me. The fallout was swift. Lauren's reputation was shattered. The whispers of our friends, those who had once supported her, spread like wildfire. Philippe's wife filed for divorce within days, using the evidence I had provided. As for me, I moved into a sleek downtown apartment. The divorce proceedings were quick, the settlement fair but heavily skewed in my favor. Over the next 4 months, I received apologies, uncomfortable encounters with former friends, and accusations that I had overreacted. Some said I was justified, others expressed their surprise. But I didn't care. In the end, I was free of the lies, the betrayal, and the woman who had once been my world but ultimately proved unworthy of my love. For the first time in years, I felt whole.